Morning all. All right, so we're starting off today with the first of the 32 season previews that I will be doing. Not all today, obviously. I'm going to try to do two a day. So two a day means for the next 16 days we'll have season previews, which take us to about the end of August, which is about right because once you get into September, you're at a training camp. Now, I understand that not all teams are completed as of this point. It's just kind of how that works. If you wait until all teams are completed, you're probably waiting until the first week of October, to be honest, because there's tryouts and all that other fun stuff and guys who still haven't signed. So I figure starting with the Ducks, why not? Alphabetically in the Pacific, they're at the top of the alphabet. And this is a team that might be ready to turn things around. If you look at the record their last 5 seasons, so 2017-2018 was a good year for the Ducks. And their last good year, really, prior to now. 44, 25, and 13. In goal scoring, they were 18th in the NHL. In goals against, they were 4th. So their defense, their goaltending was very good. Couldn't get over the hump in the playoffs. No harm, no foul. But the following season, they finished 35, 37, and 10. They were 31st in goal scoring and 18th in goals against. 2019-2020, they finished 29th, 33, and 9. Goal scoring, they were 26th, and goals against, they were 25th. So their goals against taking a hit. 2020, 2021... 17, 30, and 9 season in goal scoring. They were last in the league again, 31st. Goals against, they were 23rd. And their power play that year was an embarrassment. Absolutely horrible power play for them. Record bad, like historically record bad. 2021, 2022, things get a little better. 31, 37, and 14. Goal scoring 22nd. Goals against 23rd overall in the NHL. But at around the halfway mark of the season, it looked like they were about a 50-50 bet to make the playoffs. They did fall off, but they had a good run. November, they were 9-4. That was their best month this past season. Their worst month was March at 2-9-3. And again, that's when they've sold off at the deadline, and they sold off quite a bit. So the exits that I've got here are players who have left the team since the end of the season, not players who left during last season. So Sonny Milano, who was not given a qualifying offer and is still an unrestricted free agent as I'm recording this. Ryan Getzlaf, who retired, and Sam Steele, who also was not given a qualifying offer and currently sits as an unrestricted free agent. So they gave up on Steele. They decided they weren't bringing back Milano. The new faces, there's going to be some interesting ones. So you got Ryan Strome, who strengthens them down the middle, unless they use them on the wing, probably down the middle. Frank Vatrano, who I think is going to get an opportunity to play a ton of minutes for Anaheim, and hopefully he scores 25-plus goals. John Klingberg maybe overplayed his hand going into free agency, ends up signing a one-year deal with Anaheim. Likely to be a rental, but I think what these moves of bringing in Vatrano, Strome, and Klingberg show is they want to be competitive. So Pat Verbeek has been open about the fact that he feels they're still in a rebuild, but it doesn't mean he's putting a terrible team out there. They also signed Colton White, and they brought in Oliu Levy. We'll see whether or not he makes the team. And then if you're looking at rookies, Mason McTavish is tearing it up at the World Juniors. Had 4 goals and 2 assists yesterday for Team Canada. He's playing pretty well. Jacob Perreault got into a game last season. Odds are he gets into more games this season. So we'll see. And there may be other rookies that end up breaking in with Anaheim. The ones that I'll talk about in these videos are going to be the ones who may very well be of some tremendous impact, which can be hard to predict because until they play in the NHL, you just never know. Their goaltending tandem is John Gibson and Anthony Stolarz. I think that's a decent tandem. Gibson's going to be looking to bounce back from what was statistically a poor season by his standards. If you look at them down the middle, and down the middle is really important in the NHL. If you don't have that depth at center, that's an issue. Trevor Zegras, excellent player, young. Ryan Strome brought in, he's the veteran of the group now. Mason McTavish may very well play down the middle. Isaac Lundestrom may play down the middle. If those are your 4, you have 3 that are not that experienced at the NHL level, and Ryan Strome as the veteran as well. So usually when you're dealing with younger players too, if they're playing center, they will struggle more in the face-off circle. That's quite common for the younger players to struggle in the face-off circle. So we'll see how that affects things for Anaheim. So the channel voted, and by the channel, I mean this channel, and I also posted the poll on the Entertainment Guy, and this is why I did that. Because I wanted to see, okay, so I want to see how many people just vote. I'm going to put a team in first place just because. Both channels, 2% of people voted for Anaheim to be first or second, and there may be fans that believe that they can do it. Third or fourth, the number gets better. 17% on the Hockey Guy channel, 13% on the Entertainment Guy channel. Fifth or sixth, this is where the lion's share of the voting is. 58% of the Hockey Guy channel, 54% of the Entertainment Guy channel. And seventh or eighth, 23% of this channel believes that the Ducks will finish seventh or eighth in the division. 31% on the Entertainment Guy. And if you're looking for sample sizes, about 15,000 votes on the Hockey Guy channel, 394 on the Entertainment Guy channel. So I will be doing that with all the previews and looking at. So by the standard, that means about 19% of the channel believe that they'll either be in a playoff spot in the top three, or either the fourth place in the Pacific will be good enough for a playoff spot, putting them in, or maybe we get 5 Central Division teams, right? So I'll say 19% of the channel, 15% of the Entertainment Guy channel. So I'll say between 15 and 19% of hockey fans believe the Ducks can make the playoffs this year. Their Stanley Cup odds, well, if you think they're going to make the playoffs, their cup odds are long. $15,000 according to OddsShark, and I'm just using OddsShark because why not? So plus 15,000 is what they're offering on $100 bet. You'd make a lot of money. So again, that's if they win the Stanley Cup. You don't get like an honorable mention if they make the playoffs and nobody's picking them. That's a different bet altogether. Their cap space, they have a lot. According to Cap Friendly, currently they have $18,848,333, which may end up being one of the reasons why they're not done. This is a team that might be getting calls from, I don't know, say the Islanders, saying, look, Josh Bailey's a good, we promise he's a good player. If you could just take his contract, that'd be awesome. And if you're the Ducks, you don't do it for free. If you're Pat Verbeek, you're not doing it for free. You're probably okay with the idea of adding another forward or adding another blue liner, or whatever you're adding. You know, you're adding that contract, but you're adding that player. But you're not going to do a favor to another team without, you know, asking them to throw in something else. Their top 4 defense, Cam Fowler, John Klingberg. I've got Jamie Drysdale on the board. He's a right shot defenseman, meaning he's probably going to be third pairing, but I think with special teams and everything Drysdale's got going for him, I still think he'll be top 4 in overall ice time. Shattenkirk will be there as well. So when I talk about top 4 defensemen, I'm talking more about who gets the all-around ice time. Because you can see a third pairing defenseman get time on special teams, and it evens out that ice time. So breakthrough candidates for the Ducks, I think the 2 most obvious, Trevor Zegras, who even though he led this team in scoring, there's a lot more there. I think with Zegras, there's a lot more there. There's some explosive offense there. And Jamie Drysdale, I think while he had 32 points last year, which is respectable for a defenseman, I think he's still ready to take that next step, and I think he'll end up around the 50-point mark soon enough. Their coach, Dallas Eakins, I think Eakins is pretty safe in Anaheim. I don't think there's any chance of them firing him. I don't think there's any chance of him really going anywhere. I think Eakins is pretty safe unless GM Pat Verbeek wants this team to be a lot better. And if he feels like they're really struggling out of the gate, maybe there's a change. But I know Verbeek's job is safe. I'm pretty sure Eakins is as well for at least this full season. So their leaders, goals-wise, Troy Terry had 37, so that's quite the breakthrough season for Terry. They'll be looking for that from him again, and Trevor Zegras had 23. So 14 goal difference between their top goal scorer and their second highest goal scorer. On the assists front, that's where Zegras led the way with 38. Ryan Getzlaf, who has retired, with 34 to finish second on the team. Special teams, well, their power play was a lot better than it was the year before. They end up 21.9%. Which actually it felt like came down a lot. They had one of the better power plays in the league to start the season. That 9-4 November, part of what punctuated that was a really lethal power play. So this may end up being a team that we're dramatically underrating because of how the season finished and not focusing on the fact they were okay during large stretches of last year. Their penalty kill at 80.8%, not bad. It means that the total is 102.7%. That's good special teams. So it's one thing that for Anaheim, they need to just keep that going. If the Anaheim Ducks can keep that going, they're in good shape. Expiring contracts, and these are just UFAs, not getting into the RFA part of it. Derek Grant's on an expiring contract, bottom 6 forward. I think he'll just keep signing year after year in Anaheim. It's the best spot for him. John Klingberg, of course, right now is the one that we're all going to be talking about during the season, because if Anaheim does fall out of the playoffs, if they do end up finishing where the channel vote thinks they will, Klingberg, you would have to think, would be a rental at the deadline, a potential rental at the deadline, or at the very least, they sit down and try to work out an extension with him. Kevin Shattenkirk is also on an expiring contract, as is backup goaltender Anthony Stolarz. And Stolarz has been very good for the Ducks for large stretches as well. So we'll see how this all turns out. But in terms of where this team is at, are they a playoff team? Just off the top of my head, I would say probably not yet, but they're trending in the right direction. There's a lot of young stars here, and there's more young stars that are going to come up. So while I'm talking about Mason McTavish and Jacob Perreault, there could absolutely be others that step in. And so we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Where do you think this team finishes? Are they on the right track is an important one. And again, I think they are, but we'll see. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.